Hello and welcome to 2017 coverage from the Green Mountain Championship, the Pro Tour finale this year. We are on the Brewster Ridge course from Smuggler's Notch Resort. We got BigSexy commentary, myself, Nate Sexton, and Jeremy Koling.
This is one of the most beautiful places to be right now in the entire world, I'd say. The leaves are already starting to change color, which is just amazing because it's going to take the rest of the country a few weeks, if not a couple months maybe, to get to that point. But we're here at Brewster Ridge, which is, in my opinion, one of the best wooded courses in the country.
Agreed.
And we start here on hole one. This is pretty tame for this course. This is just a really pretty wide fairway for the distance as it is. It's 315 feet. Usually for this short of a hole, you'll have a little bit more a tighter fairway. But
no out of bounds to think about. You really just have to make that corner. If you bring the sidearm inside a little bit or you turn over the mid-range too much, you can be in trouble. Really, even though the basket finish is right, an absolutely dead straight shot is not really a problem at all.
And here we have New England's finest, Steve Brinster, and I'm almost 100% positive that he's throwing a KC rock of some sort here.
Mm-hmm. It's a decent shot, but he didn't really get any turnover. Looks like he'll have about a 50-footer.
Not really a player that throws too many forehands really ever at all.
Yeah, right about that.
And this course is one of the many courses, especially when you come to the woods. It's great to have the sidearm backhand combo. We're going to see a lot of that here today from Gregg Barsby.
This is not making the corner, but it squeaks through. I think he's going to have a makeable putt, maybe 40 feet.
Yeah, that was a good break there. That early corner there on the right side seems to be the main problem for the forehand player. You just really want to throw something that holds straight and fades late, something that Gregg's usually pretty good at with his eagles.
Yeah, I like to play just a slight flex, and I think that's what we're going to see here from Paul.
And this is his FD3, I believe. Something he likes to throw with a lot of Anheuser. And oh my gosh, almost some fireworks to start off the round there from Paul McBeth. Wow.
Ace run into the chips. Beautiful shot.
And here's my touring partner, Austin Turner, the only Discraft player on the team. 3 Innova guys here today. And looks like he is lining up his Buzz OS, I believe.
But it's to skip, and I don't know if a Buzz OS will.
Yeah.
Just a little low. If it's a little higher, that's probably a great disc selection, but he just got it out of the hand just a little too low. Here's Austin. I would guess 65, 70 feet away.
And Austin's coming off a huge win last weekend in the Nantucket Open. He beat basically a world-class field of players.
Got to be the biggest win of his career thus far, right?
Oh, I have to say so. He won an 8th here in Florida, beat Ken Climo, which isn't very...
that's not easy.
That's not easy to do.
And Gregg, yes, from outside the circle. We're going to have to check out a SloMez there. That's a 40-footer. Always nice to make something like that on the first hole. You kind of get that feeling, maybe this is going to be my day.
Yeah, and to get a good break on the first shot with squeezing through the woods there after the little bit early release and taking advantage of a good break.
Yeah. Paul with a pretty routine putt there from 20 feet. A nice start for him as well.
Oh, it's better than giving an ace run and staying close to the basket and having a tap-in putt. That's the best.
It's the dream scenario.
And Austin and Brinster will tap in their pars. Kind of maybe a letdown for those guys because this is one of the easier holes in the course. I believe it's the 5th easiest hole in the course.
Okay.
Just about a third of the field was birdieing this hole.
A hole that the third of the field is not birdieing is going to be this one. Hole 2, a par 4, 550 feet, straight up the middle. You really need your drive to move just slightly right, but this rock wall on the right is out of bounds. So you need to land right at this short tee pad, and then you have an opportunity for a tricky forehand flex up to the basket. Really, really demanding. There's not a lot of options here to get up here and have any kind of birdie look.
No, there's no Simon route here. You want to go straight up the fairway, 2 shots in a row, and we go from the 5th easiest hole to the 2nd hardest hole in the course.
Okay.
And if you're off the fairway at all, if you do not land somewhere in the center, you're going to look at flick rollers, you're going to look at all sorts of different scramble shots because this fairway gets so tight, or the rough is really, really, really tight.
Yeah.
And Paul's going to need that to...
Oh, wow. He stayed in bounds.
Wow, very fortunate break there.
Gregg's shot is also pretty close to the wall. That could be good, but it also can be kind of a tough angle sometimes depending on the trees.
And Brinster makes a bit of a slight adjustment there. Instead of pushing that right side, he hangs it off left. He gets a pretty good kick down to the middle of the fairway, but it's a long way to go up there from there.
Yeah, and I do not I cannot conceive of how a backhand could park the hole from where Brinster is.
Right. And Austin has a great distance on that tee shot, but he's just a little bit off to the side. It is so important to stay in the middle, so you just have some throwing room.
This is a good effort.
Wow.
60, 50, 40 maybe? That's about as good as you can do from that position with a backhand, I would think.
Yeah, it looks like he's just outside the circle even. I mean, that's a bonus shot from there, from Steve.
Oh, this is a tricky little shot. Gets a little turnover, and he's sneaking through the trees, and it's parked.
Gosh.
Nicely done from the stand.
I'm not going to call 4-time there, but I'm not going to call 4-time there.
Gregg also standing still. These are some huge drives from this group. These guys are way up there.
Yeah, to have any looks for birdie on this hole is pretty huge. I mean, this is so demanding, like we said, and Austin's going to have to go with a patent pending stance. It's not something I've seen him do too much this year, but he doesn't look like he's having any trouble with it.
That was solid. That's in the circle.
I can't believe we're going to have 4 looks at birdie here on this hole and 2 almost guaranteed birdies.
Yeah, that's fantastic. As Jerm said, second hardest hole on the course. Oh, Steve's not going to be happy with that effort. A little bit low.
3 inside the circle. And
Gregg hits it.
Back-to-back solid birdie putts from Gregg Barsby to start the round off.
Yeah, that is really nice.
And an unusual green sweater and red hat. I haven't seen that combo from him before.
He's a guy who pushes the boundaries of style, I feel like, pretty successfully.
Yeah, Gregg has his own thing going on, and he makes it work. Him and Nico, I think, have the most bizarre styles, but it's totally them.
Yeah, I wouldn't question what they're doing. I mean, they're pulling it off.
Right. And we just saw 3 birdies and a par on hole 2.
That's pretty amazing. That's a feature card if I've ever seen one. 3 birdies there is so good because that hole, like we said, it really no room for error.
And there was only 14 all day, and it's a 125 player field. So that's 3 of the 14 birdies. That's crazy.
That is. Hole 3 is a straightaway 325-foot shot, elevated basket. The hill kind of rises to where you can't really see the basket from the tee, but you can see this big pine tree, and you know if you get there, you're parked.
Yeah, we go from the 5th easiest to the 2nd hardest to the 2nd easiest. So it's kind of going back and forth right here at the beginning of the round.
Yep. Gregg's going eagle here. I like the play of a fairway driver just because you would think mid-range, but the uphill can make it kind of tricky. He got kind of an unfortunate skip absolutely right next to the hole, but the tree looks to have kept him close enough for a pretty easy putt.
Yeah, pretty incredible to hit that stump that the basket's resting on. That's a pretty small little area there, but great shot from Gregg.
This is a McPro Rock 3, and it's parked.
Yeah, the mid-range is nice because you can lay in a little bit harder. The fairway driver, you have to take a little bit more off. So if you're pretty controlled with those fairway drivers, that's a good distance to choose. But
either one is absolutely workable for sure.
And a nice little turnover backhand there from Austin. That was probably one of his Z-buzzes.
This is almost certainly a mid-range of some kind, and that looks to be about 35.
Yeah, just a bit short there.
Less than 35.
I'm trying to figure out if he's throwing a sentinel or not. I don't think that's a sentinel. And he come up short again on his 2nd putt in a row. He needs to get that putt above the rim.
Barsby with the turkey to open up.
Great start.
Austin in for birdie.
And I mean, if that's the 2nd closest, then where the heck
is Paul's Mini on the rock there?
Oh, there it is.
Also for the turkey. So we've got 2 players, perfect 3 under.
This is the kind of hole that a backhand thrower like McBeth and Barsby, and I mean, it's just a shot that I would be surprised to ever see him miss.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
This is one that's I don't want to say it's a must get, but it's pretty close to it.
Yeah, I agree. Hole 4 is another really demanding par 4. This one kind of moves right. You have to make it around this dark tree in the right of the screen, and that's the ideal landing zone there in that green grass. From there, we have a new pin position to attack. It used to be over this stone wall. Now it's moved a little bit farther and a little bit to the right. So really tough to kind of work the disc in all the way to the green.
And this is the hole that we saw Ricky Wysocki throw his 2nd shot in for eagle last year. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to do so with the move basket. Not that it wasn't incredibly difficult when he did it last year, but this hole was the third hardest hole last year when he eagled it.
Wow.
And it's the fourth hardest through one round this year.
Now, it doesn't surprise me. So many trees. Could be a big drive right here, but it looks like it's flexing a little too early.
And I feel like the Anheuser play, whether you're throwing...
Nice kick, though. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, no, it's a great kick there. The Anheuser play, whether you're going left side of this main tree or right side of the main tree, is the way to go. If you're throwing a forehand, you should go right of it. Unless you're a lefty and you can just smoke a hyzer up the hill. The Anheuser play is the way to get, I think, way further up the fairway.
Yeah.
And
it's a turnover.
Distance is key here, but also not drifting left at all. You can just see a barrage of trees on the left side.
Yeah.
It really doesn't get much easier on the right side either, but that's a nice little approach. He's going to be about 60 feet or so. Still kind of a prayer from that distance.
He put good angles on it, though. It was a nice forehand.
Yeah, we don't see that very often from Steve.
This is pretty ideal, if maybe a little short, if anything. He's going to go over the rock wall, he hopes.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
That should be fine.
Gregg's going to have a look for 4 for 4 to start off.
That's awesome. Austin will playing also going over the rock wall, not taking the new gap, fighting through the trees, and that looks pretty good. That looks only about 18, 20 feet.
That's a Z Meteor that he's been throwing a lot lately. Nice little soft glide.
Paul taking a similar route and another good kick.
I mean, we had 3 birdies on hole 2, and we've got 3 over the wall on hole 4.
Nice. That was really nice.
Great playing.
Got the height on that one. Good run from Steve. Oh, Gregg did get caught up in the wall. Tough stance.
Oh,
just short.
Man, that would have been... Keep that going with another great putt. That would have just been huge.
Paul to stay perfect, and he does. Nice birdie there.
Paul's 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He does it so quietly.
I know.
It just sneaks up on you. It's like, oh, well, I expect him to do that, so I don't really think it's crazy. Not that I don't expect Gregg to do great, too, but it's...
And Austin's 3 under, I believe. No slouch.
Yeah, I mean, these are fantastic starts here from our feature group.
Steve to clean up his par.
And he's got to get things going here. Is he even par through 4?
I think he may be.
I think he's even par through 4.
I think you're right.
It's a slow start for
Steve
here, but 3 under for Gregg and Austin, and Paul at 4.
Lifetime warranty, and 1% back to the planet. Tempercraft USA. Temper your thirst.
Hole 5 is a 280-foot, 5-foot par 3. It breaks to the right at the end. It might look easy by professional standards, but that left side rock wall is out of bounds the whole way, and you're just one tree kick away from disaster.
Yeah, and they've brought the basket down a couple more feet. It was just a little bit higher up on the hill. I don't know if it makes it any harder because I think if you're throwing a forehand, you naturally want to skip down that hill anyways. Mm-hmm. But it certainly makes it harder for a backhand Anheuser, whereas you could throw a straight shot before and still have a look at it. Now you kind of have to force the turnover a little bit.
Yeah, that one got away from Paul. He threw that much higher than he intended to. And it's unlikely he's going to keep that birdie streak alive, but I won't count him out just yet.
And Austin with a little bit early release there. He's going to need to fight through some trees. He catches one.
50 feet to go.
Yeah, 50 feet downhill too, so it's kind of a little bit scarier.
Oh, this is trouble. Good kick. That looked to be testing the out-of-bounds line, a little bit of a grip lock.
Yeah, it looked like Gregg wanted to throw a little bit more of the hyzer flip, and if you do that, you need to keep it down the left side of the fairway. And
this is the shot we've been waiting for, folks.
Yeah, and Steve inside the circle. Last year, that would have been about 10 feet, 15 feet. Now he's got to make about a 29-footer.
Gregg with a sneaky gap through the woods. Looks to be pretty well done. Bit of a tester putt left.
So many trees between where he was and the basket. That was a great shot.
Yeah.
Paul's going to try to prove you wrong here, I think.
He definitely will. Oh, the last tree guarding the basket.
That was in line.
Knocks him down.
That was a good look.
Austin was on fire from this distance. In Nantucket, he was making every 45-footer he looked at.
Yeah. When his putter's on, I mean, he's so dangerous with that backhand-forehand combo. Oh, no, man. Another low putt from Steve.
That is tough.
One of maybe the greatest all backhand throwers I've ever seen, Steve is.
He's way up there.
He has all the angles, all the lines. When his putt is on, I mean, he's going to win the tournament. That's probably his biggest challenge is getting that putter going. When it's going, I've seen him make some of the best putts I've ever seen, actually.
Yep.
But sometimes that can be his biggest issue. And he's just kind of come up short 3 times already, and that's a frustrating miss there with that great drive there.
Definitely. So we didn't see a birdie there from this group, but we've got a bit of a cupcake hole coming up. So we'll see how they do, but I'm going to predict a star frame on this next one.
It would be surprising to not see that. This is a hole that there were twice as many birdies as there were pars.
Yep.
And there was only 5 bogeys for the day. And the only reason there were any bogeys is because it is an island.
It's technically an island green.
You have to get past these trees here. You can see some stakes in the ground, and obviously those flags, those banners on the ground there, those are out of bounds as well. And if you miss the out of bounds, or if you miss landing in bounds, you have to go to a drop zone. But I really doubt that we're going to see that from our feature group.
This hole could get a little bit tricky if the wind was up, but wow, that was hot.
Yeah.
He's probably happy to hit that. But the wind was absolutely dead calm today for these guys, especially early in the morning. So I don't expect this hole to give them too much trouble because a 20-footer that might be pretty difficult in a 15-mile-an-hour wind on this elevated basket today is not going to be all that bad.
And they also, this is the 3rd change we've seen of the round so far. They elevated the basket by putting on top of that stump just to make the putting a little bit harder. And Gregg might have, I don't know if that tree's branches are going to be in the way from where he is.
Yeah.
But he's certainly not as close as he'd like to be.
There we go, Steve. That's what I wanted to see. I want to see Steve just absolutely parked, get his round going here.
Yeah, he might have to throw a tomahawk putt because he's so close to the basket.
I think he hit the stump.
Yeah, it looks like he did there. Skipped up, boom. Oh, I love that FollowFlight. Look at that little cursive.
Yeah, it looks like a little Brinster signature.
And Gregg makes good there from his putt. And I think, personally, I don't know how you feel about this, but what if they made anything outside the circle OB? And that would make it a little bit tougher from the tee.
I'd make it extremely difficult, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a hole, it's only 225 feet. You should be expected to get within the circle's edge from this distance. I think that might add the level of difficulty that I don't know, they're not trying to have a difficult hole here. But,
no. But the island could be half as big, certainly. The island is the biggest island I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
not the shortest island hole I've ever seen.
Right, it's almost not even an island. It's kind of like Australia's an island.
Yeah, in that same way. The Australia of island holes.
Right. And we do see a little turbo slam dunk putt from Steve, who's finally on the board. Star frame like we expected here. Onto the next hole, which would be very impressive to see a star frame.
Absolutely. Hole 7 is a par 3, 365 feet, but it's pretty sharply downhill, so you don't need to, it doesn't play that long, but you do need kind of a gentle hyzer drifting down. There's a few trees kind of in the fairway that you just have to miss to get down there to the green next to the rock wall. Fun hole to play, but kind of tricky to hit that perfect line.
Yeah, the perfect line does require that immediate accuracy off the tee, but there is that one tree in the middle.
Yeah.
I think the ideal line is to push the right side, and it looks like this is going to be pushing the inside line. But I think because he's throwing a driver, it ended up going down the backdoor route instead of coming inside that tree. But maybe a hyzer with a nose up angle, just guiding it and then letting the downhill nature of the whole funnel the disc down to the basket.
Yeah.
And this looks really good if that misses that inside tree, and it does.
Whoa!
Wow.
Mega skip.
That's his Z Nuke that he loves the flick, but that's coming in with so much speed. It's so hard to check up on that downhill slope.
Yeah, you would have to hit quite a bit short to have that work out well, I think.
And this is more of that ideal line that really smooth, controlled.
This is perfect.
And he's going to land in a very muddy spot.
Yeah, that is a mud puddle for sure.
Ulibarri was on my card yesterday, landed right about there, and his foot sunk completely beneath the ground there.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He made the putt, and he said it was worth it.
This looks like it's got great speed on it.
Oh, yeah. Just
That's
catch
gonna
that.
be just fine.
Yeah, catch that tree. He's probably still within 25.
I think so.
Great shot from Steve. Maybe he can get something going here. 2 birdies in a row.
Oh, Austin. Nearly.
Oh, and he has to sit there and kind of soak it in for a second, because that was what a huge putt that would have been to make.
Ooh, and Paul squeaks one in. Nicely done.
There's a little dance over the rim there. Nice putt there from Paul. And a great tee shot. And, man, if Steve makes this, we almost did see a star frame.
These guys are bringing it. Steve's putting style is pretty unique. I mean, his back is almost horizontal with the ground when he goes into his reach back.
It's truly the most unique. And Steve's explaining how he missed it. Austin probably couldn't even see the basket fully from where he was.
I don't think so.
And man, that's a great score there for the group. 3 down. Austin almost makes it 4 down. Seeing a couple birdies now from Steve getting things going. And Paul is just 6 under.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Through 7.
Hole 8 is a 605-foot par 4. The drive is just a really, really straight shot. You don't really want to go the way this drone is flying. It's a very, very aggressive drone. You want to keep it straight and then hyzer into the landing zone and then hopefully have yourself like maybe 200 uphill to the pin. I do this a lot, but I kind of question that 605 number, to be honest. I don't feel like it's quite that long.
No, not really at all. That's if you're going to the furthest point in the fairway and then turning and then going straight towards the basket.
Oh, look at this roll. That might be okay. I don't think it hurt him too bad, but he would have liked to see that finish up the hill.
Yeah, and I agree. I think as the crow flies, this hole might be closer to like 500.
Yeah.
And there's a couple different routes. I think that what looks like is the ideal fairway shot is the straight shot. However, there is the forehand turnover.
Yeah.
The only player in the group that might try that at this point would be Austin.
Oh, no. That is really trouble from Steve.
But there is an early route there on the inside left side of the fairway.
Are you taking that route?
I am taking that route with a forehand and hyzer.
How's it working?
And Austin Turner throws a great shot.
I was going to say, I looked at that forehand route, but as Germ's coach, I'm not going to advise him to try that again.
It's certainly there, but it is bringing in a lot of trees into the equation. And Steve kind of has to play a short shot there, just get back into the fairway. Maybe he'll have a look up to the green from where that second shot landed. And Gregg's come up.
That's a nice shot.
Yeah, a bit shorter than he'd like. He's probably about 45, 50 feet away.
Yeah. Paul, after that little bit of roll away, this shot's going to be a little trickier than he was hoping. It looks like he's going leopard 3, and it looks like it's found the window.
Oh, yeah, he's right at the base there. That's going to be pretty much a tap in there. He's going to keep things going. He's going to be 7 down through 8.
That's awesome.
What an incredible start.
So talk to me about this green. This is new construction here, the beautiful rocks and sod, and it's like amazing aesthetic, I think. It really makes the course look good. But I think, bottom line, it's a roll-away machine.
You're saying the rock wall right there?
Just to make greens in this style. Like, I really like the look, but I think effectively it punishes a really, really good shot. It's skipping right up to the rocks, and then it rolls away.
Well, I think Austin Turner would disagree with you.
You're right about that.
The Spike Heiser approach landed perfectly on the soft sod.
It might be possible.
Oh, there we go, Steve.
There it is.
Has to split a gap. And it's so crazy to see how much hyzer he releases it with. And you're talking about his back is almost vertical or horizontal.
Yeah, it's
and
pretty crazy.
It's just a unique style, but great putt there from Steve. And I don't disagree. I think it's definitely a beautiful aesthetic to the course. This is the fourth change that we've seen on the course so far, moving this basket a little bit further back.
Yeah.
Last year, if one good drive almost left you just outside jump putt range, now it's a 2-shot hole.
Yep.
But I think that what they're trying to do is just add a little bit of difficulty going into the 2018 World Championships.
I guess I'm just kind of undecided still on like that small of a raised area.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to say I don't like it because it does look beautiful and it does add difficulty. Hole 9 is a par 3, very short hole, just 205 feet uphill, moving to the right. I think the ideal shot is probably a backhand turnover, although some kind of forehand mid-range play could also be really good because you can straighten the disc up a little bit. Forehand driver can work, but you end up going a little more right than you might want to.
Yeah, the forehand driver would help you avoid those 2 trees that you can see up there on the green, but you will...
Whoa!
Uncharacteristic. And a characteristic good kick.
It was a good kick. At least he's in the middle, and he probably could still make that shot. I mean, well, guaranteed he can make it, but
yeah, sure.
He will give that a bid.
Okay.
Austin also misses the fairway.
And this one was split down the middle, 51 pars, 51 birdies, but there was 22 bogeys. I mean, if you kick off on these woods early.
This is the forehand mid or putter play that is absolutely perfect because it doesn't have a whole lot of fade on it.
Mm-hmm. But you can see, I mean, these trees are just a natural bunker that if you kick in deep, there's no chance of getting up and down.
Could hardly be thicker.
Right.
It's just so many trees.
Yeah.
If you're off the fairway by a little ways.
Trees by nature need a certain amount of space to grow, and they cannot be much closer than they are together.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And you see Austin, he's going to be struggling to save his par.
And Paul looking for a miracle save here, just a little low.
And he's going to be 7 down to the front 9. I think he's going to be okay with missing this one.
Well,
maybe not.
in the short term, no, but in the long term, yes.
And we're going to see one of those 50 or 22 bogeys right here with Austin. Let's see if Steve can make some miraculous putt and keep things going now. And once again, he's come up a bit short.
It's a tough spot to putt from. That's about where I was, and the gaps were really close to your hand, so it was like hard to commit because you had to focus so much on making sure you didn't hit the first tree in front of you.
Sure.
Gregg with making the hole look super easy. Really well done.
If you have that forehand mid-range shot in the woods, that technical aspect just opens up this fairway so much more. Those 2 trees that are in the green, you hit those, you're still
50?
Just outside the circle at least.
Yeah.
And so you have to plan to avoid those 2 trees after you've missed the 600 on the way up there.
Yeah.
So great starts there from Gregg, from Paul, obviously. Steve getting things going a little bit more, 2 under. Austin's at 4 under after the bogey. Heading to the back 9 here at Brewster Ridge. Such a beautiful course.
Yeah, thank you to the PDGA for supporting this coverage. Thanks to Discraft as a presenting sponsor. Thank you to Smuggler's Notch Resort, and thank you to Jomez. Also, thanks, Jeremy.
Oh, thank you, Nate. And I also have to give another thanks to our statistician.
Oh, yeah.
David Clancy for always helping us bring you guys the best coverage. Thanks for tuning in. Check you guys out in the back 9.